Hello everyone. Hey, we are back in action this week. How are you all? Very, very excited to see you guys all hanging out in the chat already. And it's like a family reunion, don't you think? It's just been, yes, full on to be away from you guys for a week. And then, yeah, very, very awesome to be back here again. So, big shout outs and hellos to all of you. So I see Axe and Christina here. We've got Angel, Sacris, good to see you as well. And Lothar over in Germany. We've got Angel. He's always got to work. That's okay. We'll look forward to the daylight savings kicking back, won't we? That is all good. We've got Richard Enzi. I saw Steve Beecham over there. Ralph, how you doing? Dr. Song, fantastic. All good. Amazing to see you guys and very, very exciting to be back. Now, apologies in advance if today is a little bit different. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I literally flew back in this morning. I have had pretty much no sleep. You know how it is when you get like the kind of dozing sort of thing on a plane and you don't really fully sleep. So just, you know, my mind may be a little, it could get a little delirious over here today. So anyway, this is all good. Crimson, good to see you. Brioni, we missed you. Haha, I missed you too, all of you guys. Dr. Song, hey, fantastic, awesome. Yeah, Singapore, wow. Singapore was a really kind of eye-opening experience. I got some amazing footage, which I'm going to be using, I don't know, I think there might be some using in some projects coming up, but I'm definitely going to throw together a little bit of, you know, my sort of impressions of Singapore. So give me a week or two and we'll have something to look at there. But yeah, it was an amazing trip. Very, very, yeah, I don't know, if you've never been to Singapore, it's like almost this kind of futuristic sort of city because it's so clean, it's so just well organized. You're flying in, right? And I mean, this is my first impression flying in. It's like an OCD person's absolute dream because you kind of look down and you're seeing all these buildings and all these like lots just perfectly organized. Even the like flying over some sort of industrial land, you'll see like even the sheds and all of the farmhouses and everything is just completely like in a line and squared off and just perfect. And then you sort of land into the city and it's just amazing. Like there's flowers everywhere. The airport is the most tranquil, amazing airport I've ever been into in my life. And it's like 4 terminals and it's growing all the time. So it's crazy. It's a whole other experience, this place. And yeah, so I look forward to sharing a bit more with you guys on Singapore. It's just, yeah, there were some amazing light shows. I don't know if you saw some of the clips that I think I shared a little clip on my Facebook. This like water and light and wow, just super, super inspiring. And hey, happy Easter, by the way. I've lost all track of time and what day it is, and it's Easter. So hey, happy Easter. I kind of like started Easter in Singapore and then I've arrived here and it's just like a bit of a, it's kind of not that big a deal in Australia. I don't know. It's a bit of a chocolate fest and that's about all that goes on. So in Singapore, everyone just keeps working. So it's kind of like weird where we were staying. There was some construction going on across the road, even on Good Friday and even on like the Saturday, and you go, well, no wonder they're an advanced city because they just don't stop working. I don't know what goes on there, but yeah. Anyway, there's Thomas Jones, a few more shout outs. Hey, Michael Danford and Jason, and the Godfather is over here as well. Fantastic. So yeah, April Fool's Day. I know, like April Fool's Day, and I've kind of like missed a night. So I come back, leave Sunday, come back Monday, but you don't feel like a night's passed when you're just on a plane for 8 hours or something like that. So yes, very, very cool. But yes, so Singapore was, yeah, amazing. And it was a lot of fun, I got to admit, just running around filming in Marina Bay, like Marina Bay Sands. And the more you sort of spend time in Singapore, the more you kind of like you realize it's quite a repressed society. And it was interesting as we were going out to the airport today, the taxi driver was talking about this, and it's quite yeah, repressed is probably the word. Like, there's not that sense of freedom of speech or freedom of, you know, expression and that kind of thing. So I did feel pretty weird running around in this gear, dancing around in this like massively commercial shopping area that has, you know, all the like super expensive labels and everything. And it's, you know, like Louis Vuitton and Dior and all these like massive, you know, high end shopping markets, and here's me, you know, running around doing my thing and having a really good time. So that was kind of fun, and I got some really weird looks, and that was it. So there was my April Fools on to everybody, because they were just like, what the hell is this? And going, hey, well, this is just another part of life. I'm expanding your horizons. So there you go. Very, very good. All right, so what we are up to today is going to be pretty much like the usual sort of format, hangout, and we're going to be having a little bit of a look at a couple of the 7 free songs today, because I sort of prepared a bit of stuff for you guys like before I went away and put together some little video clips and a bit of material there that we can have a look at. And yeah, we've got some updates that there are going to be some more industrial dancer interviews coming in. Didn't have one lined up for this week, that's fine, but there is also some more coming, so very, very cool. We'll be staying tuned on that one. And also there's going to be some producer interviews coming up, so that's something I'm going to be looking forward to organising. Just an opportunity to kind of get to know some of the guys behind the remixes, and you know, where they get their inspiration, and what sort of yeah, a bit of insight into how they work and that kind of thing. And it's awesome for me. It's kind of like sharing the team, if you like. Yeah, the team behind what I do. You know, there's a few of us that get involved in this. Yeah, Crimson interviews. That's it. So yes, looking forward to the next one. Should be ready for next week. We'll have the next dancer interview anyway. So everyone's thinking I'm still in euphoria. I think euphoria / delirium. Who cares? It's all good. I'm so excited to see you guys today. So that is all that matters. And Andres Gilvaldo. Excuse my pronunciation is probably going to be way off today. And that's where we're going to be. Awesome. Yes, my little, thanks Dr. Song, my little cat pendant. This is kind of like my lucky cat, and I actually travelled and wore this every day. It seemed to be kind of like, I don't know. I noticed like one day I didn't wear it and things just went horribly wrong. So I'm getting a bit superstitious on my little lucky cat. But it's really funny because I was looking, you know, I thought, here I am in Singapore. I'm going to find heaps of sparkly cats because it's my thing and I love to collect them, and I, you know, change them around a bit. And I found maybe 3 in the whole of my shopping expedition, so that was all good. But the best thing ever was a present from Brad, and he got me like a little sparkly cat backpack. That's it. So I'm going to show you. Hey, happy Zorro. Fantastic. Thank you. Good to see you. He's back in action. Here to hear all this news. Yes, lots of news coming. So very, very cool. So yes, Axe, it is definitely my good luck charm. I think so. I love it. So, and Axe as well. I haven't got the purple bowl yet, but I'm really hoping now that I'm back, it should be here, and I'll let you know as soon as that's arrived. So we still got the blue bowl today, but that's okay. We will survive these things. We will. We will. And yeah, but I thought, hey, you guys, you know, if you ever see a little sparkly cat out there, let me know, because I'd love to collect them from all over the world. So that's kind of like a very cool thing for me. Anyway, so yes, we've got producer interviews coming up. We've got more industrial dancer interviews, and yes, I'll be putting together a little bit of a video compilation of a bit of my time in Singapore. And yes, got some amazing footage there, which I'm sort of thinking about how I might use that in some future videos as well. So very, very cool. Yes, maybe next week, Christine, maybe next week. But we're looking forward to it. I'm confident that it's here by now. Confident. All right. So what we're going to be doing then is checking out some of the 7 free songs. And basically also then we're going to have a topic of the week. And I didn't really get a chance to kind of fill you guys in on this topic of the week this week, but it's how to love yourself more. So this kind of came to me while I was away, and I thought it's a really, really inspiring topic, that it's a little technique and a little kind of exercise that I'm going to share with you today. That it's one of those things that if you're not thinking about that sort of thing at the moment, bookmark it, come back to it. It could really, really serve you in the future. It's just a way to kind of shift something and move forward. So very, very amazing little thing to share with you on that today. And then we're going to be looking at some remixes. I had a bit of fun before I went away on sharing, basically putting together a little bit of footage and that sort of thing for Oblivion. So we've got some Oblivion remixes coming up that you may not have heard, and also a bit of fun footage to go with that. So very, very cool. I had a lot of fun making it all kind of fit, and it seemed to work a little bit ridiculously well. So yay, that's it. I'm gonna have 2 purple bowls. Hey, do a poll, Crimson. Just saw your comment there. Would you do a poll on who you would interview? I'd love to do a poll. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think I can do that. And yes, sometimes it's just a matter of waiting. Like I've put a lot of requests out there, and it's just the dancers when they have time to actually do the interviews and that kind of thing. Yes, that is basically where we're at. Crimson Hex asks, how is my new track coming along? It is coming along, and obviously things pause while I'm away, but there's been remixes in the works, and there's another video project version that's sort of still in the works, and we've got to do some work on that, but still it is definitely underway. So very, very inspired about new projects coming up as well. All right, so moving on to just sharing with you guys a little bit about some of the 7 free songs, because I don't know if you have them yet, and if you don't, please take advantage, and I'd love you to have them. There is a link in the description, and I often share this, or it comes up at the bottom, like 7 free songs. They're all kind of chill out mixes, and they're all a little bit different. They're kind of, some of them are alternate versions of my releases, but there's a couple in there that are kind of like on their own, and one of them is Into the Sky. Now this is basically a track that was born out of Oblivion. So Oblivion was created first, and then this was just kind of like playing on the lyrics and taking that a step further and exploring some sort of different music with it. And so it was really sort of super mellowed and chilled, and just had this great different feel to it, and then it sort of evolved into some drum and bass. And really, really cool. Like with Mr. X, we did a release of the his take on it, which even more sort of into the drum and bass sort of side. But this was where it sort of began, the actual Into the Sky. And so it's not released anywhere else. It's only here on my 7 free songs, and I'd love you to have a copy. And also, like, the vocals are sung a bit differently to Oblivion, where it's very chilled. There's this kind of almost like an intimacy or something in there, and there's like the whispers and that kind of thing, and very sort of ethereal. So I just love the feel of this particular one, and yeah, it sort of focuses more on the high than the balance. Like Oblivion is all about the sort of high and low and that sort of push-pull kind of thing. Into the Sky is really just about that sort of ethereal kind of feel, and it just takes you up there and it kind of leaves you up there, I think, as well. And Lothar's onto it. Yes, Warrior is the other one that I want to share a little bit with you about that one today, because Warrior is one of the songs. I mean, I really did a lot of work on this by myself, and Brad obviously helped with the sort of final production and things like that. But I did, this particular track was really quite unique, and it's an ambient song that was really born out of a feeling. And it's interesting, like I've mentioned Reiki before, and some of you have heard of Reiki, and basically, if you don't know much about it, it is a healing art that was developed in Japan. And so it's all about energy flow, and it's about bringing balance to your energy and so forth. And I was really blessed to have an amazing friend and a mentor who basically introduced me to Reiki, quite early on in the piece. And she's an absolute master at it. She's just brilliant. And basically, she is the sort of person who would literally work with you and get specific information. Oh, hey, Blippy. Love your songs and live stream. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Bless your heart. Thank you. And so Kerry Shippers is my mentor and just an amazing person. If you're ever in WA and you're looking up Reiki, that's the person to go to. But anyway, it's like she has this gift of getting specific information. And so where Warrior came from, right, was an inspiration behind a message, behind a session. So on this particular day, it was all about a higher energy, kind of like broadcasting to like my lower self. So if you imagine higher self, sort of lower self being your earthly sort of self. And it was like my higher self calling out to activate my warrior spirit. And it was a really strong, this is in the timeline of my life, this is actually right early on when I'm just starting to kind of get into writing my music. So it was like there was this calling out, and it was like embrace the strength and just grabbing onto it. So it was a really, really specific, clear energy and a clear feeling on that particular day. And for me, Jake Gomez, thank you so much for the super chat, gorgeous. Thank you. And so for me, it was all about, I really wanted to represent the energy of what that particular message was in a song, because I felt like it was such a particular vibration and everything that was really, really powerful and really, resonate for everybody. Hey, Facundo Perez, good to see you, my friend, even if you're only here for a short time, for a good time, I hope. And so it was a bit, Warrior is really a testament to that specific session and that particular energy. And what I loved, it was about basically reminding you to connect with your warrior spirit. And Warrior, I love the balance in the vocals, because there's quite a lot of there's an emphasis on the high vocal, like the ethereal sort of calling out. And then there's also that low vocal, which is the earthly sort of side and the grounding of that energy. So it's kind of like the thing is coming in. Hey, Maria Curry, did I not give you a shout out? There you go, my friend. Good to see you. I did see you before. Sorry if I didn't mention. Love it. And so again, it's that balance between the high and the low, and that sort of integration of energy through that. So as I said before, if you guys haven't got a copy of the 7 free songs yet, please do. I'd love you to have them. And yes, very, very cool. So we're going to have a little look now at a couple of clips, one for Into the Sky and for Warrior. So let's have a look. Baby, I can feel you. All right, so we've been chilling out over here. Fantastic to see you guys really enjoying the 7 free songs there. Yes, and definitely also got to give a shout out because I missed you guys earlier on. Risveglio, if you're still here, mwah, hello out to you in Italy. Alexi over in Belarus, my friend, good to see you over there. Byron, awesome, he's also heard all the 7 free songs, fantastic. And Ryben, I saw your comment there on the warrior spirit, that's awesome, fantastic, getting into it. And Dave Bukowski, good to see you as well. So Ruth, nice to see you from Argentina, fantastic, look at all those flowers, beautiful. Thank you so much. Awesome, you guys, I love it. And chills going over for Lothar and Axon, I love it, you guys. I do, yeah, I love it how you guys share and connect with the music. Same as me, fantastic, and yes, all good. Hey Frank Lee, good to see you. You've yeah, just missed the start, but that's all right. We're still getting into it over here. All good, my friend. Risveglio, you like your blue hearts there. William Sly, hey, good to see you. And Alexi, yes, beautiful songs and videos, thank you so much. Yeah, it's just nice to put a bit of video footage to these songs that, you know, don't really have that, and yeah, a bit of fun to me. All good. Ron Carlson, good to see you as well, my friend. Excellent. All right, so you guys, now are you guys up for a bit of a topic of the week, which is yeah, going to be kind of sharing a bit of a technique and things with you. Hey Daryl Minton, there's a waving over there. Good to see you as well, my friend. Excellent. And Richie 1475, like the warrior one. Excellent. Yeah, it's again very intuitive, that track, as I was sort of saying. It was about that feeling, so it's a very different, evolving, progressive sort of piece, and that's just how it came to be, so love it. Excellent. All right, so on to the topic of the week for this week, which, as I mentioned, is going to be about how to love yourself more. So it's something that I think we all could use a little more of in life, and I think it's something that life is always presenting us challenges to make us kind of grow into that even more. Oh, hey Tattoo Dragon, sorry, I meant to give you a shout out before. Good to see you as well, my friend. Excellent. Yeah, so about learning to love yourself more. So essentially, it's like every challenge that we're faced with, every person that we have difficulty dealing with, every little thing that pushes our buttons, that makes us grow, that challenges us in some way, is really us kind of like learning to accept and own more parts of ourselves. And by doing that, it's about learning to love yourself more. So there's another side, and I've sort of talked about some of these sides of it as well. But there's another side of it that I want to share with you today, and it's a really amazing technique, and it's a little exercise, as I mentioned, that you can come back to. And this is something that I've learned through my DeMartini studies. There's usually some connection in there to that. But it's such a practical application, and it's really so simple in its essence. It's just pushing yourself to kind of, again, you know, get the mind to find these other sides to different things. So, you know, when I'm talking about how to love yourself more, I want to obviously clarify that it, you know, I'm not talking about that conceited kind of narcissistic, entitled, arrogant, you know, like, oh, she really loves herself, you know, that kind of thing. It's more about obviously unconditional self-love and acceptance. And, you know, when we can actually bring more of this into our lives, it's like the answer to really a lot of things. Because if you're in a space of self-love and gratitude, and you're in that sort of unconditional acceptance space, it's pretty difficult to sort of step into, you know, any sort of anxiety or any, you know, depression or anything like that, because you're grounded in your sense of who you are and a love and unconditional acceptance of yourself. So to me, this is really, really important to just even have this like little tool thing in your belt, and something that you can kind of come back to, because there's always going to be times in our lives that we need that little bit of reconnection, you know, and there's always going to be things that challenge us in that way. So the feeling of loving and appreciating yourself, I feel is really what we're looking for, you know, all of the time. And when we feel that is when we shine the brightest, because we are literally radiating like a love from within to without. So it's like this, you know, if you love and accept yourself as you are, then it emanates out of you. And the beautiful thing is that it gives permission for others to do the same. You know, if you're in the presence of somebody who's just in a really unconditional love kind of space, it feels good to be around them. It also makes you feel good about yourself. Like you go, wow, this person, you know, is broadcasting that kind of frequency. It's like something that you want to be part of, you know, or you want to emanate that yourself. So there's an authenticity and all of that that's really infectious, and it definitely, I believe, creates a ripple effect, you know, as well, that, you know, if you are in that space, you can obviously affect others and so on. Oh, good night, Angel. Good to see you, and we'll catch you another time, my friend. Good to see you. All right, so coming back to that, how do we achieve this? So, you know, we all go through times of feeling it. Like we all know what it feels like to feel good about yourself and to feel, you know, quite accepting and loving of yourself at different times. You know, sometimes it might be through having done something good for somebody else, or it may be that you feel really kind of good about yourself because of, you know, some accomplishment that you've had or something along those lines. So it's understand, you know, we all have experienced that at different times. And yeah, it's like there's a deep satisfaction for what you're doing with your life and who you are when you feel that space. So, you know, as with most things that I sort of talk about here in the topic of the week kind of section, it's a lot to do with being in an inspired space will give you that sense of self-love, because you're loving life and you're grateful to yourself for what you're doing, because what you're doing is creating inspiration for yourself and probably for others. And, you know, I believe this is a natural state to be in as well. And sometimes we move away from this when we have this perception, and this is what this all really comes down to, is that somehow you might have done something wrong by either yourself or by someone else. And the very, you know, things like guilt and shame and carrying that kind of baggage is enough to really compromise that sense of self-love and self-worth as well. So what I'm going to share with you today is actually a technique of how to dissolve that, and it's absolute genius. So, you know, when we beat ourselves up over a perceived mistake, we really start to carry that baggage and carry that guilt and shame, and that feeling of self-love becomes compromised. So the importance of staying connected to the space of self-love is not to be carrying all that baggage. And to quote DeMartini, no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love. And 100% believe that for everybody that's here, absolutely. You know, because the truth is there are no mistakes. There are only lopsided perceptions that perceive mistakes. So think about that one for a second. It's like there's no mistakes, only our perceptions perceive them. And it's a lopsided perception, because in truth, if you see everything as balanced and fully equilibrated, there's no mistake. You can't see a mistake. It's not actually possible to see one in there when you see both sides to something as an equilibrated event. So, yeah, as I said, what I would love to do today is share with you some tips on how to break through that. And essentially, it's like there's only events that either support or challenge you, or support or challenge others. So, you know, there will have been times where you will have perceived that you made a mistake. And, you know, some of you now, even like now, today, might be carrying some guilt over something that you feel from the past that, you know, was a big mistake, or something that you think, oh, I really shouldn't have done that, you know. And it's such an illusion. You know, it really is such an illusion. I was even thinking about reading over this, my notes, and kind of thinking about this on the plane this morning on the way back here, and it's like, gosh, you really cannot make a mistake, because everybody, like every human being, is always doing what they feel is right at every moment in time, according to their highest values, according to what they perceive will give them more pain and pleasure, more gain than loss, more advantage than disadvantage. That will be your actions. And so if you're perceiving that you've done something wrong, you're actually just not consciously owning all of the reasons why you did what you did. Or, you know, it's action or inaction. It's like, well, sometimes it's what you didn't do. You know, the action you didn't take. If you have regret over something like that, it's simply that your motives are more unconscious than conscious. And so this is about bringing it into the conscious and unconscious being fully recognized and in balance as well. So it's amazing stuff here. I've seen people use this like process on really big stuff in their life, and it's just wow. When you see something, it's like literally baggage lifting off people. So very inspired to share this with you guys today. So for those of you, you know, that might want to have a go with this, even right here, right now, you know, it's seriously like this particular exercise can really lift an amazing amount of baggage off anybody, off any event, anything in life. It's absolutely possible. And so as usual, I'm going to have links in the description for the books from Demartini, which I highly recommend if anyone wants to look into this stuff further. Like, I like to give a little intro to this stuff, but there's deeper, you know, levels you can go to with it. And that is the breakthrough experience. Also, the Heart of Love really goes into this particular aspect as well. So there'll be links down below for that stuff. And yeah, so, you know, first of all, it's all about thinking of something that you really feel a lot of regret for, you know, whether it is something you feel you made a really big mistake on, or, you know, and I don't expect anybody to share anything in the chat here. This is something you can sit with privately and, you know, come back to it whatever time if that's something you want to do. But yeah, it's really just powerful to Sacris, I see. I never make mistakes. Once I thought I made a mistake, but I was wrong. It's like, well, that's true. There are no mistakes, my friend. Absolutely, it's so true. Yes. Yeah, Christine, you may find them in the library. You may indeed. I have seen them in there before. But really worth looking up Demartini's stuff. And hey, Kent Yang is over there, everybody. Good to see you, Kent. Fantastic. So this particular technique for dissolving, it's really for dissolving guilt and shame, this particular technique. So again, when you've thought of something that you perceive was like, wow, it was a really big mistake, you know, something I really shouldn't have done, that's where you really want to put your focus and your intention onto, to hone in on that particular one, and then you can start to actually find some links to that and how to equilibrate that. So okay, so now that we've isolated this so-called mistake, and basically we're looking at 5 to 25, so start with 5 ways that this actually helped you grow. So what we're looking for is 5 ways that this particular thing helped you. And absolutely, someone nailed it on the head over here. Mistake is a learning experience. Fantastic, that's absolutely right. And Ralph says, mistakes are human. That is the reason for my perfection. Haha. Very good, Ralph. That's it. We are all perfect in our imperfections. And it's all perfect. Absolutely. All is in divine perfection. That's it. And frankly, adds to that, mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. Bruce Lee. Yes, there's a lot of merit to that. And I think there's a lot of merit to being humble. And to acknowledging, you know, if you've caused somebody some discomfort, there's also a lot to be said for being humble and showing humility and compassion in that moment as well. But what we're looking for here is really like if there's something that you're carrying guilt on and you, again, perceive it as a big mistake. So we want 5 to 25, and it's like the bigger the perception of the mistake, the more kind of things you need to find to bring it into balance. Because if it's a really, really big charge, you think, wow, this is a huge mistake I made, then you're going to maybe have to find a few more to bring, and you'll feel it. This is the beauty of this sort of thing, because it's about mind-body balance, and I love it because this is connecting through the mind. But when it gets to that point of balance, you feel it in your heart, and you feel your heart open, and there's like this light and this weight that shifts completely off your shoulders, and there's like a luminosity that even comes over your face when it happens, just by letting go of this baggage. And it's like, wow, people don't realize how much this stuff really does weigh you down. So to give you an example, because it's sort of sometimes easier to work with examples, like let's say that you felt like you made a mistake by letting someone down by not being there for them. So this is kind of like an inaction, like something you didn't do. You weren't there for them, and you feel like that was a really, really big mistake. So some benefits to you, because first of all, we're looking at what was the thing that you did, and then what is the actual benefit to you in that. So let's say, okay, you didn't make an effort for somebody. You weren't there for them when you felt that they needed you, and so forth. So some benefits to you might have been that you had more time for yourself. Maybe you got to focus on what you want to do instead of what they were consuming your time over. Maybe you felt liberated by not being swamped by them. Maybe you stood up for yourself to this person for the first time in a long time. Maybe you actually set some boundaries that you needed to set for yourself, because sometimes people do push and push and push, and they push until you actually have to set your boundaries. And that can be a real challenge to people who have that slightly more giving nature, or, sometimes do subordinate to people who push them, but everyone's got a threshold. And sometimes it can be such a challenge that you can feel quite, there can be that sense of guilt in that afterwards, because it's such a turn of your personality and that sort of thing. So, perhaps it's also looking at the flow-on effect, like for yourself. Say if you weren't there for somebody, then, perhaps that created a rebalance of energy in you that gave you permission to focus on yourself more. And perhaps that flowed into creative projects, and perhaps that created, a different avenue for yourself, and maybe you actually, got a new job, or flowed into a new business ideas, or new hobbies, or new interests, or, again, it's about understanding the energy play of, if you didn't do something for someone else, it's because you actually needed to do something for yourself. And there's always that sort of balance in there. So identifying whatever the mistake you perceive was that you made, see how it served you. What did you actually do that was really, really good for yourself and really empowering for yourself? Okay, and so again, it's like really not about being right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. Like, right or wrong is bad, black and white thinking. So I try to stay as far away from black and white thinking as possible, because I understand that's really in the lower levels of the mind and of the brain, and it's keeping you in a very dense kind of consciousness. So always looking for, okay, and I do this even, like I go, ooh, was I a bit hard on that person? And then sort of balance it out and go, okay, well, no, because I actually needed to speak up for myself in that situation, and, understand your ulterior unconscious motives will sometimes take action over what you might consciously be thinking as well, but it will always be to your advantage, and it'll be always to the advantage of the situation and for whatever kind of needs to happen there. And yeah, so as I said, it's not about right or wrong. It's just about seeing it in balance. And, however you may challenge somebody else, there's always a benefit to you and a service to you out of it. So we only carry regret because we perceive that we somehow did more harm than good. And by balancing that out, it's just an event. Then you're beginning to see it as, well, it's just support and challenge in equal and opposites. So yes, and a little side note on that one is that this is really true for every event in life ever. There's always two sides to every event, no matter how huge and no matter how it can be looked at like this. So that's when we're getting into the bigger stuff, that's when you really want to hit the books on that one, because that's getting into some sort of deeper terrain. But the universal laws still apply, so it's really, really interesting. Okay, so as we've established, like whatever you perceive as being your big mistake, then start off with 5 big ways that have benefited you, and I would go for 25 as a keep going kind of thing, until you feel that go, oh, okay, I can see it in balance now. I feel that, I can understand why I did that. I can understand for myself why I needed to do that, and that sort of thing. So then to fully dissolve it is to see how it served them as well. When I say them, it can be not only the person involved, but also others. It's how you're serving that person and others as a result of your action or inaction, and that kind of thing. Hey Kevin, greetings in Brazil. And yes, very cool. Axe makes a note over here: to understand oneself is to become your enemy. That is true, and I would add to that, Axe, is to own the reflection of your enemy and to see yourself in them, to then bring that to a space of unconditional love and acceptance. You own your enemy, you become your enemy, and you integrate the reflection. Fantastic. Love it. I love the thinkers that we attract over here. You're just beautiful people. Love you all. Fantastic. All right, so moving on to really seeing how then whatever it was, seeing how it served them. So let's look at the same sort of example, right? If you didn't do something for somebody, you weren't there for them and that kind of thing. It's a fairly straightforward little example to work with. So then you'd be looking at, again, 5 to 25 ways that you actually served them. How did you help them? How did you help them to grow by not being there for them? Because there's always that balance of opposites and the cruel to be kind, right? And I love the example I heard a long time ago, which was, let's say, you've got a parent that wants to give their child everything, and they give them a car, like for their 18th birthday or whatever. And then the child goes and writes off that car within, a good couple of weeks or so, and doesn't really value it, doesn't value earning anything for it. And you can think, well, the parent is being kind by giving that child a car, but are they really? Because they're not giving that child the lesson of value, of lesson of earning, lesson of responsibility, lesson of, accountability as well. So it's kind of like that cruel and kind are simultaneous. You can't separate the two. Joy and pain, happiness and sadness, kind and mean. You just can't separate the two. So it's understanding that you are cruel to be kind sometimes. So, if like a parent doesn't give their child that much, makes them work for it, makes them earn it, makes them, can be really, really stingy, but makes that child value earning, makes them value themselves. They grow up with a stronger work ethic. They grow up with a stronger sense of responsibility and so on. Well, has that parent been kind or been cruel? It's open to interpretation, and it's always subject to the person whose values are judging that situation and that person. So we all judge by our own values, and we look at that and compare that to our own and say, well, is that kind or is that cruel? William Sly, we're all skyscrapers. Absolutely, my friend. That's what it all comes down to. We are skyscrapers. Exactly. So again, like looking at a situation where if you're carrying guilt over something, you perceive that you've done to something, you've done the wrong thing by somebody, well, there's always going to be that side of it where you have been cruel to be kind, and there's going to be the benefits that you gave to them out of that. So really this exercise is about identifying those to the point that you can see the gift of love that you actually gave to them. So some questions that might help find the benefits to do something like this, say if you weren't there for somebody, using that example, would be, well, did they get their independence back? You know, by you not being there for them, did it give them freedom from their situation? Did it actually make them step up and do something for themselves? By not being rescued, by not being saved by you, did it actually make them take more responsibility, take more accountability? And then, you know, how did that help them even further? Because there's always a flow-on effect, you know. Well, so, okay, they actually started taking responsibility for themselves. Maybe they got a new job. Maybe they found a new relationship. Maybe they moved house and upgraded their living situation. You know, there's always going to be, through challenge and through destruction, there's going to be creation, and there's going to be something else coming out of it. That's it. So, you know, it's interesting to look at, again, that 5 to 25 ways that whatever the action or inaction was has served them. And follow it along. And when you really, really feel, you go through that sort of list and you really see it, you will literally feel this weight and this light come off your shoulders, because you're actually seeing the perfection and balance of how you served them, how you served yourself, and there was actually an exchange of love going on there. And the beauty of all of this is that it's really about seeing there's no accidents, there's no mistakes. You know, the lesson that they learned and the lesson that you learned was necessary for both of you. Whatever the situation, there's always a learning involved and something, that a gain out of it for all sides involved. And yes, so this really dissolves any illusion that there was somehow a mistake, when you can see there's only love in this equation, and that it's true that, you know, there is only love. All else is illusion. So everything else that we don't see as love is something that we're judging by a lopsided perception. So again, what I always come back to is how we're moving from judging to loving. So judging, holding something outside of yourself, seeing it as separate to yourself, loving it, bringing it into yourself and integrating that. Fantastic stuff, my friends. Very, very inspiring. So again, it's such a valuable exercise, and it's one I can't recommend enough. If you ever have something that you just feel like, oh my God, I made a really huge mistake, come back, visit this video, go through the little exercise and dissolve it with me, because you deserve better than to be carrying around BS in your life. That is it for me. You know, it's like life is too short to be carrying around baggage over some lopsided perception that is completely based on crap. And it's like, we just aren't taught how to do this, you know, in school or in life. We learn it along the way, if we're lucky, if we sort of attract the right people and that kind of thing. And Richie 1475, balance is key. Exactly. Projection of high frequency light and love always comes back to you. Law of attraction. Mistakes are just learning potentials for self and others. Brilliant, my friend. See the quality of the people that we have here. Mwah. Love it. You guys, love is wise. Dr. Song, absolutely. Fantastic. Yes. Hey, Mr. Roboto's here, everyone. So anyway, hey, I looked up that song, by the way, not that long ago after Christine's recommendation. And it's gone out of my head, something. Tato, Mr. Roboto. Love it. So classic. Oh my God. Amazing. Futuristic from way back. Love it, Mr. Roboto. Thank you for being here. Yay. Awesome. So again, just to kind of round up on the whole how to love yourself more, it's really when you understand any mistakes that you might think you're not carrying something or so on, but if you feel like there's a similar dynamic playing out over and over again in your life, like you're attracting the same sort of situation. Christine's laughing. Love it. Mr. Roboto. Yes, you made me look it up, Christine, and I loved it. It was too funny. Hey, Jag. Mr. Roboto's here. That's it. We love it. Good on you. And you know, so when you can dissolve that baggage, it's like your self-love will just grow amazingly, because you're not perceiving that you've done something wrong. You know, like that energy to be carrying that around in your life is just literally what weighs people down. I really feel like, you know, you see some older people, right? And as they get older, they get more and more hunched. It's like they're carrying this big weight on their shoulders. And you think, what the hell? They are going, you know, they're carrying all this weight from years and years. And it's like, if you don't, you know, dissolve it, don't balance it, don't get it back in perspective into the way that it should be, then more often than not, life is going to require you to replay the same event and the same equation in order to bring it back to balance. It's like you'll get the opportunity to integrate it, but it'll have to keep replaying, like Groundhog Day or something like that, you know, where you are literally replaying the same event because life is trying to get you to bring it back to balance. And it's trying to make you love that part of yourself. It's like you're not necessarily being selfish. You're being self-loving. And it's really just about flipping the perspective on those situations and giving yourself permission to love yourself that little bit more. And that is what it's all about today, my friends. Beautiful. So again, it's really like it's impossible to do more harm than good. It's only our perceptions that tell us that. And it's the perceptions that are out of balance that tell us that. So the mind knows the truth, the heart knows the balance. And so when we can prompt the mind to bring it back to balance, then we absolutely can push through it, we can equilibrate it, liberate ourselves from the illusions, and move forward without all that unnecessary emotional baggage. Tell you what, I had so many bags coming back from Singapore, and it makes you just think, oh my God, carrying all this baggage, it's not worth it, my friends. It's not. But some very cool things from Singapore, I got to say. You'll be seeing them pop up in either live streams or performances, who knows, but some very cool little accessories going on over there. I tell you what, it took me, my goodness, it took us a long time to find an actual shop that sold anything remotely goth in Singapore. You wouldn't believe it. They just, it's not really a scene over there. I think there's not really much of a subculture, but I think that comes down to a bit of the repressive society. So anyway, I found lots of coloured hair things, but not this sort of look. And it was literally in all of the main shopping area of Singapore. We found one little tiny stand that had some stuff, and I was like, finally found you. But there we are. So there we are, my friends. That is the topic of the week for this week, on how to love yourself more. So I hope you take something from that, feel even more inspired and awesome about yourselves, because you are truly inspiring people. And I love that all of this, you know, you already get a lot of it, and it's fantastic. So yes, and Ralph says, if you're honest with yourself, you will have to admit that you cannot grow without mistakes. Absolutely. That's it. Mistakes are, you cannot fail without succeeding, because you're succeeding at learning every time, and that is it. Hey Paul Watson, nice vibes tonight. Absolutely, the universe is always unfolding as it should. Excellent. Yes, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Roboto, says about enjoying the stream from last week, talking about people feeling alone. And Godfather says, I've been alone for several years. Well, my friend, go and check out last week's live stream, because it's all about how to stop feeling lonely. Because again, it's an illusion. It's just not seeing the transformation of forms and of energy that's going on over there. So fantastic. All right. Hey Neo, good to see you over here. Byron as well. Love yourself, then love the world. That's it. The more you love yourself, the more love you've got to give. You know, and it's when you're in that space, you love the world. You emanate that 100%. Nicely put, Neo. Very good. All right, so we're going to have a little look at a bit more music stuff over here, my friends. We've got some remixes for Oblivion coming up, and as I said before, I really had a bit of fun with this and putting a little bit of vision, like from the Oblivion music video, and kind of chopping it up, and I think in one part I just added a bit of that unused footage that I put up a clip to, but put a bit more of my dancing and that sort of thing into one of them anyway. And yeah, so the first one we're going to hear is a bit of the remix by Guilio. Now, I don't know if you've heard this one, but this is seriously funky, super energetic remix. It's totally infectious, and I literally dare you to try and not to move to this one, because when I'm listening to it, you know, there's such an amazing beat and energy. I literally can't stay still and listen to this one. I just love it. So hopefully you do too, in the same way. And yeah, it's just a fantastic remix. This one's so much fun. All right, so yeah, it makes you want to move. Don't fight it. Go with it. That's it. Fantastic. Guilio. And then the next one we're going to have a little listen to is a segment of the Mira remix. Now, Mira was the winner of the Oblivion Remix competition. And the part I want to show you today is like the stunning breakdown right in the middle of it, and the sort of amazing atmosphere that he brought to that. And you will have heard definitely bits of Mira's remix. It's like I use a lot of it in the intros and outros, and in the live version of Oblivion as well. So yeah, I love a lot of his work. Is just amazing. And yeah, so definitely want to share with you a bit more of that section of it, which you may not have heard. And yeah, definitely worth checking out the full Mira remix as well. And last but no means least, I want to show you a bit more of the Morrow Erickson remix of Oblivion as well, because you recognize the big sort of dubstep drop. It's like the bow that I use in the live version. Very, very cool. And yeah, it just adds so much atmosphere and energy to the live performance. I just love it, love it. And yeah, the remix is absolutely stunning. You know, there's a lot of dynamics in it, a lot going on in that one. So again, I recommend having a listen to the full thing. But yeah, just want to share a bit of love of the Morrow Erickson remix of Oblivion as well. So again, I've been just so blessed, you know, with amazing remixes for the release of Oblivion, and it's absolutely my pleasure to share it with you guys. And yeah, just to give a bit of spotlight to these guys as well, who've done, you know, such an amazing job, and they don't always get the spotlight for the remixes. So I really love giving them that opportunity as well. And yeah, so without further ado, let's have a look and listen to a few of the remixes of Oblivion. right, you guys. So that was a little bit more of Oblivion, and good to see you guys getting some chills over there. Ralph and Axe love it, and I think that might have been to the mirror breakdown there. Very, very cool. All right, fantastic. So, and I see some of you guys hooking up outside of here, which is always good to see. I love it how the community that we have here grows and builds, and I love it how you guys connect. And I was thinking to myself when I was away, I was like, oh, I wish I could just have the video and have the chat here so you guys can connect again, because it's just awesome to have this. Love it. Fantastic. All right, so looks like we're all talking about SL, and I ain't there, people, so it's all happening over here on YouTube for me. That's it. Fantastic. Although one of my friends over here does actually, I think, DJ my songs in there. So, hey, you can hear me in there if you are hanging out in whatever club she's DJing in. So, that's pretty cool. All good. And Axe, I saw you mention something about getting your DJing going on again, and I think absolutely, my friend, get into it. I would love to hear it, see it, do it. Fantastic. All right. So, you guys do know what that means. It's time for... It's trivia time, everybody. Fantastic. That's it. Alex Baudouin, good to see you, my friend. I saw you pop in there as well. Awesome. Love it. That is it. That is it. Excellent. All right. Trivia time, everybody. Da, 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 da. And what we're all playing for today, as you might have guessed already, it's going to be the MP3 download of the full EP of Oblivion. Yay! So all those amazing remixes you just heard is going to be what is going out for you guys today. Alright, so we got 5 questions coming up. 5 questions. Alright, 5 opportunities for you guys to win, and they're not that easy questions this week, so you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to think. You're going to have to know your Brioni Faith trivia, and that is it. Alright, so Mr. Roboto says, I really need a robot costume. You do. Do it, my friend. I would love to feature you. That would be it. Fantastic. Alright, so trivia question number 1. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Anakin Natsu and Miyuki Astaroth. Fantastic. My little daughter sends you kisses from Argentina. Mwah. Kisses going out to all of you. Anakin and Miyuki, I just saw you pop in there. Fantastic. There you go. All right. Now, here we go. Trivia question number 1. You guys, are you ready? It's going to be the first person, first answer, fastest, and typos are sometimes forgiven depending. So we'll see how we go. All right. So, question number 1. In the music video for Kiss Me, there's a lot of time-lapse video backgrounds used. Name the location where this is all based. So, in the video for Kiss Me, it's pretty much all centered, like especially the intro, the beginning, is all centered around one particular area. And I'm going to give you a little hint because I'm so nice. And it's a city. It has a big clock in the center. And there is a lot of time passing in this time lapse. The time. But it's not a time triangle. What else could it be? So got a couple of clues in there. If we've got it. No, not Brisbane, my friends. Not quite Mars, but we're working on that for another video. Alright, not in England. No, we're looking for the city, location, the start of Kiss Me. A lot of London answers coming up. No, not London. We're not looking at the Big Ben for a big clock. Where's another city? Another city that has a big clock at the center. And it does a big thing around New Year's. There's a big ball that drops, apparently, in this particular area, in this particular city. Dun, 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 dun. Lot of footage of this particular area. Oh, Axe is getting it. Yes. Can we get more specific? Can we get more specific to the location? It is in New York. It is a particular Times Square. Sarah Jacobs. Fantastic. And welcome, Sarah Jacobs. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Very good. Times Square. Good job. That is the one, my friend. You have done it. Excellent. All right, all the New York answers coming through now. Good job, you guys. I'm impressed. All right, Sarah takes out that particular one. Well done, Sarah. You got yourself a copy of Oblivion, the MP3 download. So just a reminder to everybody, if you're not connected with me on Facebook or however else, email me through my website and to get in touch with me to send you the download link. All right, very good, at the end of the stream and so on. Okay. Now, all right, we are on to question number 2. Question number 2. It is another Kiss Me question. So you got to know your Kiss Me stuff here. In the bridge, like in the middle part of Kiss Me, in the music video, we head out to the desert. And there's a location, and the shots and the scenery are all from this particular location. So this is a little bit more difficult. What is the location that is used in the middle section, the breakdown, the bridge of Kiss Me? And I'm going to give you one little hint that it is a valley. It's a valley out in the desert, has some pretty big, awesome structures out there. And that is about all that I'm going to give you. Let's see if anybody can get it. Staten Island? No. No, we've gone a bit further out than that from Times Square. We've gone way out towards... Geez, my geography is not probably good enough to actually say, but I'm going to kind of say out in the desert, maybe towards Nevada, Arizona type thing. I'm going to get myself in trouble if I get that really wrong. Not quite Dubai, my friend. Banjo John. Banjo John 66. Not quite Dubai. Steve Beecham. Stephen, got it. Monument Valley. Good job, my friend. Absolutely, that is where we are in the breakdown of Kiss Me. Some beautiful scenery out there. I had to use it. Just loved it. Very symbolic of that particular, you know, it's kind of like going out to the desert to find yourself and finding those symbols of strength out there. Beautiful. Love it. All right, we've got Sarah on one. Stephen Beecham has got one as well. Fantastic. Good job, you guys. Okay, now the next question. Number 3 is going to be for those of you that paid attention to what was going on last week. So it's a little bit of a do you know your topics kind of question. All right, so the question is, what was last week's topic of the week? Do you know? Did you do your homework? Were you here? Did you watch it? Let's see who did. And we have referred to it already in the stream, so if you were noticing what was going on there, then that will be an easy question for you. So what was the topic for last week's stream? How to yes, you know it, you got it. It may even be in your recommended videos on the right of the screen. Oh, it's close. Close. We've got Ribon. Ooh. I'm going to give it to Ribon. It was the first answer, how to not feel alone. It's like how to stop feeling lonely. The essence was there. Good job, my friend. Oh, yes. It's hard. All right. I'm too much of a sucker for the first right answer and then the first answer that's perfect. So I'm going to give it to Ribon and to Dave Bukowski because you got how to stop feeling lonely is the exact perfect right. Very good. Well done, Dave. And Ribon, giving it to you as well because you're first in there with the closest right answer. Good job, you guys. All right. acts close to know yourself. Yes, well, that's what it's all about, really, anyway, isn't it, my friend? Good job. Okay, so we got Ryben and Dave with 1 each on those. I know, sorry, people, it's sometimes a internet speed competition over here, but we do our best, and we do well. Good job. All right, you guys, remember to get in touch with me if it's through email, through Facebook, through wherever, however. Let's make it happen, and I'll send you the link. All right. So that's 3. We've got 2 more chances, people. Don't be giving up just yet. We are still going. All right. Going to have a couple of lyric questions for you. So this is going to be testing your knowledge here, and that is yes, a good challenge. All right. Now, here we go. This is a lyric from Skyscrapers. And no, it's not the line "We Are Skyscrapers," because I think we all we know that one pretty well. So I want to complete the line, and it's in the sort of verse here. So the line is, "Can we make a vow that we're not leaving?" And there's 5 words that come after that. I'm going to give you the first 2. So I'm looking for the next 3 words, which will be, so it's, "Can we make a vow that we're not leaving till we All right, what are those 3 words, people? Over to you. It is not quite one of your Skyscrapers, Jag. Close, but that is a fairly well used line in that song. So we're looking for, "Can we make a vow that we're not leaving till we..." Ooh, close, Christine. Ooh, I'm going to be specific on this one. Till we... Bum, bum, bum. Ralph is close. If you combined what Christine's got and what Ralph's got, you are going to get it, people. Till we... Darrow Minton. Got it, my friend. Good job. Yes, that is it. Ha ha ha. Mr. Roboto on the spot, can't do it. That's okay, no pressure, my friend. Keep coming back. That is all good. Work this out. Can we make a vow that we're not leaving till we work this out? That is it. Testament to seeing it through. That's what we're all about. All good. Maria Curry, don't be concerned. Hang out here long enough, you're going to get one, my friend. It's going to happen. Tell you what. Good job, Daryl. All right, so Daryl has 1. And we got Dave, Ryben, Sarah, and forgotten the other one. Christine's probably keeping track for me, but that is all good. We're getting there today. Very good job. All right, now that is it. We're going to have the last question, and it's going to be another lyric question. So good test for you people. Tell you what. It's not easy today. We're not making it easy. Christine, you were so close. But you and Daryl, what a team, hey? You got it. You got it. All right. So another lyric question for you guys. This one is from You're Not Alone. You Are Not Alone. And it's from the first verse. So, or like the breakdown in a sense. And I want you to complete this line. So the line is going to be looking for the last 4 words of this line. So, it is, "In this world, you feel you're all alone. I know you. Ding, 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 ding. I know you. Ding, 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 ding." 4 words. All right. Here we go. Eggs, buggerballs. Nice. Very good. Okay, so over to you guys. In this world, you feel you're all alone. I know you. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Who's got the lyrics? Who's got the lyrics? And bear with me while my internet is slow to update me when you guys have come through. Valley of the Kings. That is probably not the lyrics. Yes, Alex Baudouin. Excellent. I know your face. Wonderful. Good job, Alex. Alex got it in on the last question, everybody. Well done. All right. I know you. I know your face. That's it. 100%, my friends. Good job. Well done. It has been amazing. You've done a great job on the giveaways of the trivia and the answering the questions, getting the lyrics. All good, my friends. Well done. Amazing job. All right. So that is trivia time for this week. We are very, very good. Getting better all the time, you guys. So remember, email me, get in contact with me. Let me have the opportunity to send you the download link for Oblivion. Well done. Excellent. And you know what that means is up next. Dun, da, da, da. It's giveaway time, everybody. Woo! All right. And I promised you it was going to be a good one this week. And I am absolutely holding fast to that. So, not only is it going to be a copy of the double album, both CDs in there, Synchronicity Remixes, Human double album signed and sent out to you, but along with that we're going to be sending out 2 EPs. So it's going to be 2 of these EPs with that. So you're going to get 3 CDs in total. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get the full album plus 2 EPs of your choice out of these 5, which is Kiss Me, Oblivion, Down for You, Falling, and The Dream. So are you ready, everybody? Everybody, Purple Bowl is still on its way. Still on its way. All right, so it is the Blue Bowl again and again and again and again and again with the Blue Bowl, but we're getting closer and closer to this Purple Bowl. I feel it. It's happening. And dun, 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 dun. I do this like I hold it up here. I can't see it. Oh, Facundo Perez. Facundo Perez. Well done, Facundo. Yay! You are the giveaway winner this week, my friend. And I think I saw him here at the beginning, but I'm not sure that he's still here. So Facundo, well done. Congratulations to you, my friend. Thank you again to all of you who share, like, do the thing on Facebook, because it does always help. Share the love and share the word of live streams and what we're all about over here. And yeah, much love and appreciation to all of you for that. So that is awesome. All right, so my friends, I think that's going to round us up for another week. And very, very cool, as I said, to connect with you all again today. And excuse my jet laggedness and delirium, and hopefully it's all made a bit of sense for you today. It has, yes, definitely got a bit of sleep to catch up on over here, which is going to be happening. And yeah, massive love to all of you. Thank you again for being here and for all the lovely comments and support over the last week's video and live stream, well, live recorded stream, if you like, as well. That's just been really, really awesome. So yeah, it felt like an eternity for me being away for 2 weeks, but it was great to at least have a video to put out for you for last week. So at least I felt like I was still connecting in some way, which was awesome. Excellent. So all good. We're gonna be Ralph, did I forget something? I don't know. Did I forget something, Ralph? We've done the giveaway. We've done the trivia. I think it's all happening over here. But yes, we are going to be catching up again next week, and looking forward to the live chat, live stream, live content. We're going to be having, hopefully, as I said, another interview from a dancer and that sort of thing going on next week as well. So for now, my friends, good night, good day to you, whatever time of day it is for you. Thank you so much again for being here with me. I love sharing the space and time with you. Big love. April the 2nd, that is today. And we'll be catching up with you next week. So much love to all of you. Have an amazing week. Stay inspired. Remember, love yourself. There's no mistakes. We're a bunch of amazing people always growing into better versions of ourselves as we do. So big love and bye to everybody. Paul, Randy, Steve, Andreas, Ralph, Ron, Godfather, Alexi, Facundo, congratulations. We'll catch up with you later. Ralph, Mikey Mike, and Mr. Roboto, Maria, Christine, Axe, everybody, Alex, Godfather, all of you guys. Thank you so much again for being here, all you guys. Big love to you all. Mwah. Group hug, everybody. We missed out last week. Oh, this is what we're doing. We're going on to that one. We're still on the giveaway. And group hug. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Everybody. All right. Byron, good to see you guys. Mike Casaburi, Lothar, Andres. Excellent. Mwah. Big love to all of you. And look forward to catching up with you real soon. So bye for now. And mwah. A bientôt.